Barstool Big Cat, you and your favorite baseball team are 0-2. Any thoughts?
I woke up at 4:30 in the morning on, was it Tuesday morning?
Yes.
And I woke up at 4:30 in the morning just to remind myself the Dodgers are really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was, first 4 innings, you're like, oh, Shota's got something. Little walks, but he's pitching well. And then getting into the bullpen and like, oh, yeah, the Dodgers have just dudes on top of dudes on top of dudes. This morning I did not wake up as early. I woke up and I saw it was 6-3 in the 6th, and I was like, well, that was a bummer. I hate that they start. I hate this series. Like opening day is sacred. You should have opening day. Everyone should be playing on opening day at the same time, and it should be a national holiday. And these games should not have counted. I'm personally not going to count them.
Are you pissed that they actually gave Ohtani a home run on what should have been a double?
That was crazy. That was some serious hometown cooking. Now, though, what we have to do as sports fans is we have to root for Shohei Ohtani to hit 74 home runs this year, or whatever. Is that 73,
it's a great
right?
Yeah, 73 for Bonds.
Yeah. So we got to hope for that just so that we can just debate this home run that happened in the middle of March in Japan for the rest of the time. So that's all I'm rooting for, is for him to break the record, and then we can just revisit this forever and ever and ever.
It sounds like there are no kind of long-term thoughts you have about this Cubs team after 2 games, which I wouldn't expect you to
No
have.
snap judgments?
Yeah, but you don't have any snap judgments.
No, the Dodgers are really good. The Dodgers are probably going to win the World Series again. It's like, it is what it is. They're just so good. They have so many guys.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, think about it. They went last year, they won the World Series, and they added pieces and got a bunch of guys healthy again. And it's like, oh, this is going to be fun for everyone. So, yeah, there's no snap judgments. You just can't. I mean, we all know the Dodgers. I think their win total was it's in the high. It's like 108 or something. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, the over-under is 104.5, which I believe ties the record for the highest number set for a team since 1990, and that's kind of the only public data we have. It doesn't go back farther than that for over-under win totals. So 104.5, they are at least per Vegas and all the betting lines, the best team to ever be put together on
You
paper.
don't have time to sweat baseball. You've got college basketball on your brain.
I'm so excited. This is the best moment. This is the moment that if you're in your car, you're at your office, savor this moment, because the next 4 days are probably my favorite 4 days of the year. And it's like, there's just nothing better. The giddiness that I feel, I'm like walking on air everywhere, just knowing what we have this week. Are you guys going to be partaking in the madness? I know Sylvie's out in Mexico.
Yes, vacation.
Who takes a vacation for March Madness? That's insane, unless it's to Vegas with your friends.
Well,
but will you guys be partaking?
Meller and I have actually put an Idiots versus Experts bracket challenge. Meller and I combined to put a bracket together against Tyler Aki, who is a college basketball expert, along with Cap. We actually have Florida beating Bama in the finals.
Ooh.
You don't like that? You don't like that?
I like the Florida part. Florida's incredible. They're so good. If you haven't watched a Florida game yet this year, it's wild to watch, because they have 12 dudes. They have 2 types of dudes. They have dudes that can dribble, can beat you off the dribble and then hit a 3 in your face, or they have a 7-footer that will grab the rebound once every 6 times they actually miss a shot. And then they'll dunk on your head, and then if you get the ball in the post, you basically can't get the ball above your shoulders because they're all so tall and good. Florida, I'm in on. Alabama's not going to the final. So that's wrong.
I had Duke, and Meller made me.
Yeah.
You
Tell
made
him
me
that.
scratch Duke off so that we could have Bama instead of Duke.
I did. I demanded.
As an homage to Big Cat.
But Duke is really good too. I've come to the realization that Duke will probably win it all this year, or at least they'll be in the Final Four. It's Bama. The problem with Bama is they went to the Final Four last year. They shoot a ton of threes. They do the whole analytics thing where they're either taking they're trying to dunk or they're shooting a 3. Nothing in between. Mm-hmm. They're actually it's kind of terrible to watch. And this happens in the NBA too, where guys will pass up wide open mid-range jumpers because it's been coached out of them that a 15-foot jumper you cannot take. But the problem with Bama is last year they were incredible. They go to the Final Four. They still play the same style. They just don't make their threes the same way. They're like 115th in three-point percentage this year. So it's just not like you can't when you play that style. If your threes don't drop, you're out in a single elimination tournament.
Counterpoint, Big Cat. Don't let them get hot from behind the arc, or look out, my friends. Don't let them get hot.
Basketball school.
Don't let them get hot.
I like that thought process. You're like, what if we just make all of our shots? What if we just win all of our bets?
That was the thinking. Traditional basketball school, Alabama, Roll Tide.
Yeah,
you can't. But again, we've got the Gators beating.
By the way, what's at stake in our little contest here? Losers have to go to the Bulls' home play-in game.
Yes,
from start to finish. If it happens.
Wait, so you think we're gonna? I know we're in the 9th seed right now. You think we're gonna hold on to the 9th seed?
I have no clue. I just don't want to go.
We're not going on the road.
So
that's for
I
sure.
want to win.
I promise you.
Yeah, we're not going to a road
playing at the United Center.
Oh, that should be in it. That should be in it. The losers have to go to the play-in game no matter where it is.
We batted it around and we all declined.
Yeah.
We nixed that idea for sure. We're not that devoted to the
But you do
Bulls.
believe, as big a football fan as you are, I know you're a huge college basketball fan as well, though. Cap said this yesterday. He said
these
Thursday and Friday are his favorite 2 days of the sports calendar. So you're in agreement with that?
Yeah, I probably am. I mean, listen, there's always a football weekend in like late October where everything kind of lines up correctly and you have, 5 top 25 matchups and you got a big game on Saturday night and then you got some great games on Sunday and like a big Sunday night football game. But you don't know what weekend that's going to be. You guys know what I'm talking about. There will always be one of those. So that one would probably be number one, but you can't really say – you can't, like, point to it on a calendar and be like, I know that day is going to be great. These are 2 days on the calendar every year where you point to and you say, I know these 2 days are going to be great. And Saturday and Sunday are great, too. There's just something – I think the way sports have gone and the evolution of sports and – I think just the bracket and the tournament, a single elimination tournament to find a national champion, it's a crazy way to do it because you have crazy things happen, but there's something so pure about it that I absolutely love. And I'll always have these 2 days in my heart as the 2 best days of the year.
How do you plan out or how do you get ready for opening tip tomorrow? Like, do you have to be like locked in and ready to go an hour before the games get going just so that, nothing gets in the way? Or are you somebody who, if for whatever reason you can't be, I guess Big Cat's not going to not be in front of a television the moment it tips off. But so like, how do you prep for tomorrow, Big Cat?
Okay. So this is how I prep. So starting Sunday night and up until tomorrow morning around 9:30 a.m., I stuff my big brain with as many stats and trends and angles as I possibly can take in. I have the amount of reading that I do in this week is more than I did my entire 4 years in college. So I'm reading everything. And then I go into tomorrow. First tip is 11:15. At around 11 o'clock, I have a plan. I have all my thoughts. And then around 11 o'clock tomorrow, I will black out and I will bet every game and I'll go against everything that I learned.
There you go. Love it.
Yeah. Every time. It's every time.
Listen, it sounds like and it still results in the best 2 days of the year, best weekend of the year, best 4 days of the year for you. So obviously it's working for you. Is there a Barstool bracket that you still enter in, or has legal gambling kind of made your bracket, submission obsolete?
Yeah, I don't really do. I'm not as big of a bracket guy. I still have a bracket. I still will submit it into a couple pools, but I got the Calcutta pool.
Absolutely.
Got to do that. So, and then, obviously brackets are, still fun to fill out, but it's bet by bet. It's bet by bet. It's just trying to survive every single second and live betting and all that stuff. That's the beauty of it. It's just like, if you get your teeth kicked in, tomorrow at like noon, guess what? There's another game coming up at 1:30. So you just keep going. Get up and keep going.
Have you done your Calcutta, or is it tonight?
I have. I've done it.
Who is the big buy for Big Cat?
Duke and Houston were big buys.
You bought Duke?
So, all right. So, hold on.
Explain yourself.
I am not the one who buys any of these. I got hooked up. The guys who bought Barstool Sports, really smart guys, in 2015, the original group, Chernin Group.
Yep.
They have a numbers guy who I became friends with, and he invited me into his Calcutta. I don't know, so it was 10 years ago, and I was like, yeah, I'm in. I don't have anything to do with the drafting of the teams or anything. I just know that every year we win money. So every year he says, are you in? And I said, yes, give me as much as I can take. And then he just sends me the teams, and I follow the team.
Okay, so you're
that's not good for us, Meller, because you told us not to play Duke. So if Big Cat's got Duke and the numbers say Duke and we've got Bama, we're going to the Bulls play-in game.
Yes, you are, because, listen, he said – I looked at my teams, and Wisconsin was on it. I was like, wow, we bought Wisconsin. He's like, I wasn't planning on it, but the numbers said we had to. I was like, I trust the numbers. So
we got Bama beating Wisconsin, obviously.
Look out. Don't let us get hot, Tom.
Probably.
Wow. Don't let us get hot.
My God. Hey, do you have any strong thoughts about Bubba Cunningham and UNC getting into this thing?
Yeah, he's a joke. It's a joke. We had actually on my live YouTube show on Monday, we had the governor of West Virginia on.
Oh, yeah, he's suing him.
Yeah, he was doing it. I don't know if Stephen A. Smith was aware, because I know Stephen A. Smith was very upset at him, and I don't know if he was aware that he came on a show that is literally just like us sitting around talking about nothing for 2 hours. But it's ridiculous. I mean, you guys know, like you can't say that you recuse yourself from the conversation with a bunch of people that you work with, that you're friends with, that you spend an entire weekend watching hoops with. And then you come back from recusing yourself, and you're like, "Hey, did you guys help me out? Yeah. Like, how'd it go? How'd it go with UNC?" It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous conflict of interest. Just like the college football committee, they need to just throw out all these people who wear suits and sit and watch football for 1 weekend a year, and get like 10 dudes that all they do is watch ball, and they got stains on their shirts. That's who I want picking my team.
Would that be the ultimate honor for you to be included in the selection committee?
Listen, I would never accept, because I would be the most biased person ever. Wisconsin would have a 1 seed. I'd have our path being all 16 seeds. So I know that. Like that's what Bubba Cunningham has to admit. You know what I mean? Like I can admit that I would be 100% biased towards the teams I want to do well and the teams that I hate. Why can't he say the same thing?
It's a really good question. What did he get, a $106,000 bonus for his team getting into the tournament? I think that's what it was. It was a 6-figure bonus.
Did
he receive a bonus? He wasn't aware of that.
Oh, yeah.
And did you see what's happened to West Virginia since then?
They lost their coach. He's going to Indiana, isn't he?
Yeah, but did you see all the crazy intrigue that's going on around it?
Oh no, what happened? I have not been following West Virginia.
All right, this is good story time though, because it goes to Indiana. So West Virginia, DeVries, their coach, his son Tucker plays for him. He played for him at Drake. Very good player. So he gets the West Virginia job last year from Drake. They start the season. They go to a tournament in the Bahamas. Right? Early season tournament. Tucker DeVries gets an injury out of nowhere. He plays 37 minutes against Georgetown. He gets an injury in the 8th game of the season. Why is the 8th game important? Because the 8th game, if you sit out after the 8th game, you can technically redshirt and play another year. This is a kid who got paid $1 million NIL to go play at West Virginia for his dad. Who else is at the tournament? The Indiana Hoosiers. And guess what happens 2 days after the tournament happens? Is Mike Woodson says that he is going to be stepping down at the end of the year. So essentially it looks like there's a lot of smoke and mirrors here, but Indiana talked to West Virginia and said, hey, this is your job. We need your son to play for you, though, because he's really good.
Yep.
So let's make sure that he redshirts and doesn't play the rest of the year. And West Virginia got screwed. So he's basically been the Indiana coach since December.
You just described why you can't be on the selection committee, because you're crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that crazy. No, I think it's actually... Yeah, I think in this era of NIL, I think it's a shrewd move, and I wouldn't bat an eye at it being the reality of the situation for sure.
Somebody's got to go to jail.
It stinks, but it's not crazy. This is how it works. They have Tucker had shoulder surgery, and they have a clip of him on the sideline 3 weeks later, no arm sling, cheering with his arms moving around. He didn't get.
But maybe if Tucker was available this year, maybe West Virginia would have won a few more games, and they would have been in this.
But
year's
he would not have been able to redshirt and thus get the extra year of eligibility.
Bubba Cunningham said that they took into consideration his injury when keeping West Virginia out of the tournament. He has not played since December. That's insane.
Yes.
West Virginia got absolutely screwed every which way in this entire situation, and it's not crazy. You're crazy.
Maybe
Waddle,
Bubba.
for saying it's crazy.
Maybe Bubba caught wind of what you just said, and he just decided, him and his buddies, we're going to punish both of these schools, and we're not going to let either of them in.
No, how are you punishing Indiana? They just got a new coach and a great player.
But you didn't let him in the tournament.
But listen, they lost the
They're
battle.
playing
They
the
won
long
the
game,
war.
right?
They're playing
the long game.
Yeah,
the only one who gets screwed here is West Virginia.
Big Cat, let us in a little bit on what's the deal with the Bama bus bet with the Barstool guys.
Oh, yeah. So Rico Bosco, one of our guys, probably the craziest guy we've got. He's a big Nate Oates fan. He went down to Alabama to Tuscaloosa like 5 years ago, and he and Nate Oates went on a boat trip together, and ever since then he's come back and he's brainwashed. He thinks he's the greatest coach of all time, so he's a big Bama fan, and we have come up with the bet. So if Bama gets to the Final Four, Rico goes to this party every year that's probably the worst party ever. It's every college coach and agent. It's called the Pump Party, and it's at every Final Four. And it's essentially just a bunch of people trying to impress each other and network and the last thing I'd ever want to go to. Yeah. So if Bama goes to the Final Four, he's going to get to stay in the same hotel as me and Dave. We're going to go to the Pump Party. We're going to shake hands. We're going to schmooze, all that stuff. If Bama doesn't go to the Final Four, he has to take a bus from New York City to San Antonio to get to the Final Four. I think it's 36 hours.
Oh, my God.
36 hours. Five switches. He's got to switch buses 5 times.
Oh, boy.
That's not good.
Yeah, not good at all. But think about the party I'd have to go to. I'm the real loser if I have to go to this party.
You should invite the governor of West Virginia, if in fact it happens.
I like that guy. I mean, to get that sign, the National Corruption Association of Athletics just instantly made.
That's fabulous.
And doing that in grandstanding. I mean, that's just smart politics because are they going to change anything? No. But everyone in West Virginia is a West Virginia Mountaineer fan, and you've basically said we're not going to take it. We're going to make a fuss about it. And again, nothing's going to change, but at least you made a fuss.
Yeah, and you secured being the governor of the state for years to come.
The popular vote will be backing you.
Oh, exactly.
Nice. Where do you find Aaron Rodgers to be leaning towards at this point?
Isn't this getting kind of sad?
Is it?
Like the Vikings don't want him.
Correct.
They said it. They don't want him. The Steelers, Cam Hayward, did you see Cam Hayward basically be like, I'm not doing any retreat with you. Just come to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he'll be with the Steelers, but it does feel like Aaron Rodgers is kind of overstating his influence and market value a little bit here, being at a spot where it's like he wants to go to the Vikings, and now he's got to decide between the Steelers and the Giants. But if you're him, right, that's not a decision. The Giants are going to be god-awful.
Yes. And as we talked last week, look, I'm not afraid of Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not going to lie. I'm glad to find out that he's not going to be with the Vikings because I think that there is a chance he could be very good with that group.
I agree. And it's the reason why he chose wants to go to the Vikings is the Vikings are the closest to competing right this second. I mean, they were obviously very good this year, and they beefed up their offensive line. So I think his desire to go to the Vikings tells you that the Vikings are going to be a dangerous team.
I agree with you. Totally. All right, you need to get some rest, don't you? Like, what time will you call it a night tonight?
Oh, I'm going to watch the whole Xavier Texas game, and then I'll probably stay up stuffing my head with more stats until I don't know, 11 p.m., midnight. The only thing I got to do is not lose my voice. I usually lose my voice these 4 days. I got to not lose my voice. That's the key.
Have you got a game circled that you feel is, a can't lose? First round?
There's no such thing as a can't lose. Well, remember, I got sued for that.
That's true.
Okay, I'm going to just rip off a few here.
Okay.
I like the over in the High Point Purdue game. I like the over in the Wisconsin game. I like Louisville. I like VCU. I kind of like Georgia. I kind of like Yale. I like the over in Drake Mizzou. I like Utah State. I like UCSD. I like the UConn Oklahoma over. I think that's just Thursday, though. Do you want me to do Friday, too?
Sure. Let's see what else you have. What else you got?
Hit it up.
Friday, I like Baylor. I like Colorado State. I like St. Mary's. I like the over in Grand Canyon, Maryland. I like UNC. I like the over in Kentucky, Troy. I like New Mexico. I like the over in Arizona, Akron. I like the over in Yukon, Oklahoma. I already said that one. I like the under in Michigan State, Bryant. Threw in an under for you boys.
Yeah, that sounds
And I kind of like Liberty.
How much Grand Canyon basketball have you watched? A and
He's
B.
been stuffing his head with
What
stats
is your favorite
since
publication to help you with your decision making?
I scour everything. I got everything.
Okay.
I've watched probably 2 or 3 Grand Canyon games.
Yeah,
that's enough. That's enough, right?
Yes, it's totally
absolutely
enough.
get your head around it. I like that.
And the women's Grand Canyon team is in the tournament as well, first time ever. So congrats to them.
Congrats to them as well.
Yes.
Will you be gambling on their chances?
I will probably be gambling on some women's hoops. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, there's lulls in the day where it's like there's no tip, and then there's a women's game going on. So yeah, there'll be some women.
I can hear the excitement in your voice. Not that you're not always excited when you join us, but I can truly hear the legitimate excitement in your voice.
It's like Christmas Eve right now for Big Cat. He's just waiting.
It really is. If I could bottle up tomorrow morning from 10:30 to like 11:15 that first tip and sell it, I would be a billionaire. It would be. It's the best feeling in the world.
I think you are a billionaire, aren't you?
Pretty close.
I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a billionaire.
All right.
Multi-millions, yes. Not a billionaire.
All right. Something to shoot for.
All right,
Big
good
Cat,
luck starting tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah. Enjoy the day and the days.
See you,
All
buddy.
right. See you guys.